Hey everybody, Coach Wayne here. Today I wanted to talk about being successful, but doing that through small wins instead of trying to achieve the big wins. So quite often when you go in and you're playing a sport, you're trying to do a job, trying to finish a task, a lot of people try to go after the big win. Let's go after the big goal and let's assume that you're going to get there. Whether it is the state championship, is your team is going to play, or whether it is going in and getting that new job, or winning the girlfriend, the boyfriend. You go all in, and everybody will tell you that you want to go for everything, and you do. But what most people forget is that it's a process. The reality is, a few people get lucky, and they will come in and they will win big. They'll win the lottery and get $200 million in one shot. But the reality is, for the rest of us, it's not that simple. It's like walking up a set of stairs. You're going to have to take each step to get to the top. If you want to be a great competitor, you have to put in the practice. If you want to be a great winner on your softball team or your football team or your basketball team, you're going to have to put in the time and the effort and the practice and the hours. So two examples. One, there was a college professor that came in and he decided to experiment with his students. He was just teaching photography. And he told his students, we're going to break into two different groups. Number one, you're going to focus on quality. I want you to create the best picture that you can. And you only have to turn in one picture at the end of the semester. The second group, he said, what I want you to do is I still want good quality, but I want you to come in and I want you to take one picture a day, whatever your subject is or your topic that you're trying to frame in. And take that one picture a day, and at the end of the semester, submit your best picture. And he was a bit surprised by the results because the group that was focused on quality met and they talked and they discussed, how do you frame the picture? How do you come back and get it just right? How do you get the lighting? How do you do the measurements to make sure all that's there? And they walked and talked and looked at and figured out, well, here's the best subject. Was it landscape? Was it this great water fountain? Was it a picture of a person? And it was this great portrait. And as they went through this, they really focused the entire semester on how to get it perfect. In the end, the other students that took pictures just went out and they honed their craft. They took picture after picture, and yeah, they worked on the lighting. They worked on the frame. They worked on the subjects that they were shooting, whether it was photography for landscape or whether it was doing portraits. But they got practice. And at the end of the semester, the pictures submitted by the group that took pictures every day were significantly better than the group that focused on the big win, that focused on just getting it right with quality at the end. Another good example is my daughter came through with softball, really didn't know a lot, and she didn't start playing until she was in the seventh grade. We didn't know there were such things as travel ball teams at the time because it wasn't a thing when I was a kid. It has grown very prevalent today. And she joined a team and did a good job, but the coach required that in addition to the practice, which was usually 2 hours when they went through, she still also had to go to hitting lessons and spend another hour, at least 2, if not 3 days a week, which we had to pay for, to go through and to learn how to hit. And in that hitting session, there were really only 3 stations with tees where she had to hit, and then one station where he was going through and throwing front toss to get her to hit and was correcting minor mistakes and just encouraging her to get swing after swing. And so I was talking with a parent over the weekend, and they were asking, well, how many extra hits does she get? 200 to 300 hits in that 1 hour hitting lesson, in addition to what she had done for practice. That year, even being in the 10th grade, she turned around when she got onto this team and did that and hit 3 home runs in that season. My daughter's tiny compared to some of the other girls and other players on the team. It was the extra work. So if you want to be super successful, it's going to be gained through the small wins. That extra practice where you got a little bit better at your hitting. The extra practice, you got a little bit better at your dancing. or a little bit better at your hoops when you're shooting, or your serve in volleyball, or the serve in tennis, whatever the sport is, that extra that you're going through is a little bit of a win. Because when you go through and you break down the mechanics and you look at the different pieces, as you can go in and look at and gain extra skills, and you get all those little pieces down. Let's take my daughter swinging softball. When you get your stance down to where you're even and balanced, and then you get into your load and you get that right. Then you get into your stride where you're moving forward to the ball. And then the separation where your chest and your arms are still the same, but your body is starting that movement forward. And then you come around and you get your bat into the right plane to hit the ball. It took time. Each of those small steps, the stride, the stance, the stride, the separation, the bat path, the swing, all those small wins ended up resulting in home runs. Not all the time. I mean, baseball, softball, it's a game of failure. You lose more often or you miss more often than you actually win. But you learn to get through, and you get there by taking small steps. So start today, and whatever your sport is, wherever you're trying to lead your team, you need to sit down and figure out, what am I going to do today? What's that one small thing I'm going to do today that's going to help me to be great in the long run? Because it's not, I won the lottery and I'm just going to be great tomorrow. It's a marathon. You're going to have to do it every single day, going through, working on, and doing the practice. In the end, the results will be fantastic because you put in the time and the effort. And when you're leading people, they will see you putting in the effort. When you're leading people, you can turn around and show them the mechanics of what you're supposed to be doing, whether it is throwing the football or how you're shooting the hoop in basketball. The small nuances of how you hold your hand, how you do the jump, how you tackle somebody in football. You've got to go down and get through all of those small pieces and get your wins. And what gets scheduled gets done. So if you want to get there, schedule one small thing today that you're going to do that's going to make you better in your leadership and in your sport. And then schedule what you're going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be an extra hour. It could be 15 minutes of working on and studying something else. But those small wins, I can almost promise you 99% of the time, you will far surpass in leadership and in your athletics, everybody around you. So I hope this helps. Have a great day. Hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.